How's it going, beautiful people? Welcome to today's episode of the ZoShow. I am your host, Coach Zo, and today we're going to talk about how to coach the uncoachable. Okay, are you a new... Wow, hold on now. What's going on? Having some issues here. Still having issues. Look, I'm not touching it, it's just falling. Let's see. Maybe it's just like... Oh, I know the problem. My bad. Okay, here we go. How are you doing, beautiful people? I am your host, Coach Zo. Welcome to the ZoShow Live. Hosted, brought to you by Distal Point Tumbling. Distal Point Tumbling, we have the expertise, the equipment. Let's bring Distal Point Tumbling to a town, city near you. Now, today's topic is about coaching. Today's topic is this. Are you a new coach and can't seem to get your athletes to trust you? Are you a new coach? Maybe you took over a team and they really, really love that last coach. Or maybe you are a new coach that's already a part of an existing team and no one can seem to want to work with you. No one is bothered by you. No one is even taking your suggestions on anything. Do you feel useless? Do you feel like, what is the point why I'm here? Well, today I'm going to give you 5 proven methods that will get statistically every athlete to love you. Now, why do I say statistically? Well, I coached 235 athletes this year, and I have one athlete who does not bang with me to this very day. Okay, she's from Sylvan Grove, beautiful girl, awesome, but she just does not like me. So that's one person out of 235. So I can't say you'll get everybody to love you because that would be lying. But statistically, 1 over 235 is pretty much everybody. So here's the thing. I get it, right? When I first started coaching, I was a spot. I wasn't even a tumbling coach or a gymnastics instructor. I worked for the YMCA Gymnastics, and the director of the YMCA Gymnastics was like, "Hey, do you want a job? Come spot my girls." She knew me because I was on the cheer squad with her daughter. So she knew that I kind of knew what was going on. She knew that I was strong. And she was like, just keep them safe. Sounds familiar, right? I was like, oh, I'm pro at that. Safe spot, right? But when I got there, my job was to spot the girls and doing all these challenging skills because the other directors, the girls were just as big as the other coaches. So they got somebody bigger. But none of the girls would want to work with me. They felt safer with the smaller coaches that they knew than this random person that just showed up at their gym, right? So I get it. I understand how that feels when you're like, yo, I have all these things to contribute, but nobody cares. Nobody's listening to me. So how do we get them to listen? Well, first of all, we all heard it. We all know, but I'm going to remind you, they don't care how much we know till they know how much we care, right? And that sounds cliche, but it's cliche because it's true. So what do? How do we get them to know that we care? How do we impress upon them that we care? Here's what we have to do. The moment we walk in, we need to present ourselves as a professional. A lot of times we get somewhere new, and because it's new, we don't want to impose. We're timid, we're shy because we don't really know what's going on. You may not know what's going on. You may not know what time lunch is. You may not know when the girls have a break. You may not know whatever. But what you do know is your sport. You do know how to coach. You do know how to coach cheer. You know how to do that. That does not change, right? So everything else is a non-factor because you didn't get hired for those things. And you can learn those things. When you walk into any room where you are the coach, you need to walk in like you are the coach and you've been a coach. Any room I go into, I walk in. Hi, I'm Coach Zo. I'm ready for whatever's going on. I find the director. If I don't know the director, I walk to the floor. Walk to the floor. Don't worry. Somebody's going to find you. Hi, why are you around these kids? Oh, I am the new cheer coach. Oh, hi, I'm such and such and such. This is how we go. Right? Walk right to the floor and start looking. Start analyzing. Start being familiar with the people there, with the athletes there. That's the next thing you need to do. When you walk into any room, you need to see your clients. These are your clients. How do you serve them? So I walk in, I walk to the floor. I go to where sometimes, like if it's cheerleading, let's say it's like an open gym. A lot of the times the girls will be sitting down, getting their shoes on, getting their hair ready, whatever. So I'll just walk down the wall, because they're usually along a wall. And I'll just walk down the wall, just kind of see who's what. See who's who. Okay, I see them as a flyer. I see them as a base. I'll kind of see if they have any knee braces on or any elbow braces, wrist braces. Kind of see who's dealing with what. And just taking inventory of who's there. And then taking inventory of the people who was there and their body language, right? People who are excited, they're talking to their friends, blah, 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 blah. If they even have friends, right? Do they have friends? Are they excited to be there? Are they jumping around, right? Or are they kind of inside? Are they just waiting for somebody to tell them something? So I'm taking inventory of my clients and seeing what's going on. It's time to start seeing your athletes as clients, right? Those are the people that I'm serving. I'm serving them at a high level. So I gotta know how I gotta care. I have to care, and not only do I have to care, but they have to see that I care, right? So first thing, you gotta show them that you care. Just gave you a few ways how to do that. The next thing that you have to do is you have to understand that there's 7 different types of learning. And it's your job as the coach to create an idea in your head, create a template in your head, create a system in your head that will let you kind of narrow down who you're talking to when you're talking to them. Okay? If you are, first of all, you have a learning bias, right? You have a type of learning that you like to do. You need to know what that is first. Before you even step in anybody's gym, how do you like to learn? Me, I'm an audio learner. Don't write nothing. Don't move. Just talk. Talk to me. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to imagine the rest of it. I got it. Right? But not everybody's an audio learner. So what you have to do is figure out how you can take how I learn, right? I'm an audio learner. Okay, but some people are visual learners. So now I need to paint the picture that I see in my head, and I need to paint them for them in real life. Some people are kinesthetic learners. You have to touch them and move them through what they're doing so that they can kind of feel themselves through space. Some people are mathematical learners. They're just like, they need to process the equation before they start. Figure that out. Figure out your system to figure out who's who. And a great way to do that is just to practice the different types of learning. Once you are in an environment, or if you are in an environment right now where the athletes are comfortable with you, start playing that game. Oh, you seem like a kinesthetic learner. What does that mean? Well, every time I kind of put you in your position that you need to be, you like that and you learn better. Yeah, I do love that. I guess I am a kinesthetic learner, right? And, oh, you must be a linguistic learner because every time I talk and I tell you in words what I want to see, you end up doing it better. Or you close your eyes like Coach Zo does. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm a linguistic learner. And so just start practicing those things so that you can see it in real life with people that you're comfortable with. So when you get into a setting that you're not comfortable with, you can model what you saw with the people that you knew and kind of fill in the blanks with the people that you don't know. Okay, so we have to care. And caring starts from the moment you walk in. If you walk in as a coach and you sit off to the side waiting for someone to tell you what to do, it's like, oh, she's just like us. He's just like us. He can't lead me because he's where I'm at. Who wants to be led by that, right? You might know all the terms. You might know all the angles. You might know all the stunt grips. You might know everything that there is to know about cheerleading. But if no one wants to follow you, what is it good for, right? I didn't write this one down. But I got to tell you this. I did not write this one down, but I got to tell you this. Being who you are is not an excuse for who you need to be. Ooh, let's do it again. Being who you are is not an excuse to keep you from becoming who you need to be. All right? So many times I hear people saying, well, that's just who I am. Pause. Pause. Is who you are right now encouraging? Is that moving you in your greatness? Is that pushing you to your best? Because if it's not, then who you are is not good enough. And I'm not trying to insult you. I'm not shooting at you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about yourself. But too many times I see coaches be like, oh, I'm quiet because that's just who I am. We're not here for you. These athletes are not here for you. You are here for the athletes, right? Let me give you an example. My wife does not like people touching her. Not a thing. When we sleep, this is our bed. I sleep over there. She sleeps over there on a complete opposite side. I might put my big toe on her because I miss her, but she don't like that at all. Guess what? We have a 4-year-old. His name's Reneus. Guess what he loves to do? Oh, he's a toucher like dad. He's a hugger like dad. When they sleep in the same bed, oh, my man's is on top of her every which way. Guess what? Guess what? Mom can't say get off me. I don't like people touching me. Sorry, you're a mom now. Like, that comes with the job. And it's the same thing. Just because you are rude, just because you are shy, just because you like to swear up a storm does not mean that that's who you get to be in practice, because now that's no longer the role. It's not about you being you at any cost. It's about you being the best version of yourself for your athletes, right? I'm not saying we all need to coach the same way. I'm not saying you need to be loud like me. I'm not saying that you need to, you know what I'm saying, be yourself. But make sure you're being your best version of yourself, and make sure that yourself is serving them. Because if you're not doing that, then you're not doing jack. All right. I'm going to back up off of that. Now, so we're going to figure out the type of learning that people do, because that's going to show that we care. We're going to start caring from the moment we walk in, so that they understand we come from a place of, not power, right? A place of influence. Whew. We come from a place of influence. When we walk in, we walk to the mat. Take a look at the mat. Okay, cool. We got a full set. We got a full floor. Okay, cool. Take a look. Take a look at the athletes on the floor. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Or not on the floor, they're on the wall, right? Getting ready. Take a look. Okay, cool. Okay, she got a wrist brace. All right. All right, no problem. Oh, she's pretty talkative. I hope that's just when she's on the wall and not when she's on the floor. We're going to watch that, right? Just take inventory of everything that's going on. So we have to show them that we care. How do we do that? Well, first, we start from being in a position of influence. I switched it around. I don't care, but we're here now. You need to start by being in a position of influence, putting yourself in a position of influence. Number 2, try to figure out the type of learning that people do. It's a lot easier to work with. Here we go. My wife hates when I do this, by the way. My wife hates when I do this, but wherever we go, I'm going to say it. Wherever we go in the country and we have to communicate to black people, my wife is white, I'm black. We have to communicate to black people. I'm always in the accent of whatever country or whatever state we're in, right? If we in New York and we trying to get directions, hey, yo, what's poppin', fam? Hey, I'm trying to figure out where we should. Okay, word is over there. Say less, my G. Good looking out, right? If we in Cali, we in LA. Hey, what's good, homie? Nah, I'm just trying to see where the chicken spot at. It's over there. Oh, word, cool. Good looking out, cuz, right? Probably not cuz, but good looking out, fool, right? If we down south, hey, nah, I'm just trying to find, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to find a chicken spot somewhere, you're trying to get somewhere to eat. Oh, where is over there by the street? I bet, good looking out. Yeah, for sure then. Right? And my wife is like, yo, who did you just turn into? What's going on? But it's easier to communicate with people if you communicate with them in the way that they like to be spoken to. If you communicate with them the way that they like to communicate. then the barrier to entry is a lot easier because, oh, they're just like me. They look nothing like me. I've never seen them before, but we communicate the same. We understand each other, right? Once they think that we understand each other, now we can get an understanding. Yo, I'm cooking up. I'm cooking up today. Somebody better watch this live because I'm killing this, right? Once they feel like we have an understanding, we can create an understanding. Once they feel like we understand, we can create an understanding. So, make sure that you're communicating to people in the way that they want to be communicated in. And one way to do that is by figuring out their personality type, right? So we have learning styles, types of learning, how we take in information, but then we have different personalities. Now, granted, certain forms of learning lend to certain personalities, so that does slim it down for you, but it's not the same thing, right? So we have 4 personality types. We have the gorilla. That's somebody who is to the point. They will tell you directly. They do not care about your feelings. There's not a lot of people like that. If you look at a bell curve, I'm gonna say like the last 66%. No, that's crazy. The last 15%. Then we have chameleons. Chameleons are almost everywhere. It's like the first half of the bell curve. If we're going from this side to this side, it's not this half of the bell curve, but this half of the bell curve. And those are just people who's just going to go with the flow. Whatever you tell them to do, they're going to do. Whatever everybody else is doing, they're going to do. Where everybody's at, that's where they're at. Then we have turtles. Turtles are people who love asking questions. Hey, we're going to go on 1. Ready? 5, 6. Hey, why are we going on 1? Well, because it's cheer. That's what we do here. Oh, well, usually we go on 5. Okay, well, I'm coaching today, so we're going to go on 1. Doesn't really make a difference whether we go on 1 or 5, but I'm used to coaching on 1, and this is going to work well if we do it the way that I like to do it, so guess what count we're going on? You guessed it! 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And then we have flamingos. Flamingos are the social butterflies. You know the flamingos because as soon as they walk through the door, they got to tell you about their day. Oh, my goodness, Coach, you will not believe what happened. Coach, no. Remember that girl I told you she was always trying to mess with me? I told you I was going to deal with her, Coach. Guess what I did today? Yeah, she got dealt with. She had to get the deal. She wanted the deal. She had to get dealt with, right? We all know that flamingo because they take up the whole room and we love them for it. And once you understand a person's personality type, then you understand, right? So you wanna learn how they learn, so you can teach them the way that it's easier for them to learn. But then you want to know who they are, so you can figure out how to say it, right? It's how we show them, and then how we say it. I don't think I'm saying that correctly. Right? So let me figure out a better example, right? So let me figure out the type of learning. So I'm a linguistic learner, and I'm a flamingo, right? I love words, and I take up the whole room when I walk in. And so if you want to communicate with me, oh, yeah, okay, right? So when you're giving me information, you need to use words loudly, because I'm loud. You need to use your words loudly because I'm loud, right? But let's say I was a linguistic learner, but I was a gorilla. Instead of saying, hey Lorenzo, when you want to hit that front handspring up, make sure you don't let her get over the top. You got to be a lot faster than that, my boy, right? You can joke around with me, and I'm gonna be cool with that. I love jokes, right? If I was a linguistic learner and I was a gorilla, then you would have to come up straight to me. Hey, that stunt's not gonna hit until you get there faster than she does, because right now it's never gonna work. You're not doing it properly, right? You have to be concise, you have to be clear, and you have to be very literal with gorillas. The type of learning is the what. The personality is the how. The type of learning is the what. Personality, the how. Hey, right? So I'm so glad I figured out. it's a little bit confusing because I feel like the what is the information, but the information isn't the what. The information is the vessel. But the what is like, am I going to say this to them? Am I going to give them a mathematical explanation? Am I going to put them in their kinesthetic? Right? That's the what. And then the how is, okay, if they like to ask a lot of questions, I'm going to ask them a lot of questions until they understand. If they're a turtle, right? If they're a chameleon, I'm going to be loud with them. And I'll give you an example of how fast this can work, right? So I was at the open gym on Friday, and we were looking for a parking spot. There was a track meet. There was traffic. Ugh. So we had to park a little bit of ways, but we didn't even know where we were going until I saw this dude with a red shiny backpack, and I was like, oh, he's a cheerleader. Then he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, I think he's Dominican. Side note, I'm Dominican, so I feel like I have like this Dominican radar. But I was like, oh, and I think he's Dominican. Whatever. I put that to the side. I was like, I'll probably see him later. We park. I go upstairs, and we start doing our thing. First of all, let's go back to I never finish my stories. Fine, I'm just gonna finish the story. We don't have to go into that, right? So we go upstairs. We're doing our thing. We're warming up. And he's like stretching like he wants to do a standing tuck, but he's nervous. I was like, yo, do you need a spot? He's like, would you spot me? I was like, yeah, but let me tell you, you grown and I'm grown. All I can do is make sure you stay safe. If you stop, you're going to die all on your own. He's like, all right, that's respectable. So then I started giving him like more pointers on how to do his tuck. He threw his tuck. I spotted him through it. He over rotated to his butt, kind of hit his head a little bit, but he said it was fine. Cool, no problem. He did it again. Boom, he landed on his foot. I was like, on his feet. He's like, oh, that felt really good. Cool. Thank you. I was like, hey, no problem. Whatever. We go on about our day. We go on stunting and we're doing things. He's over there. I'm over there. We're together, whatever. And then I see him kind of stand. I was like, yo, you want to do some more tucks? He's like, yeah, I want to do some more tucks. So he does another tuck. That one, you always got to get the jitters out the way, right? He does that second one. Beautiful. Money. Everybody's clapping. Everybody's super proud of him because they all saw that I didn't really spot him. He didn't really need it. But I was there because anything can happen and I wanted to make sure I could snatch him out the sky. And so now he's feeling proud, right? Everybody's clapping. He's looking. He's like, I did that. I did do that, right? And so we go on. But now we go on to partner stunting. And he's doing a walk-up with this 16-year-old. Only reason why that's important is because she was a flyer. She was like this big. Like the whole point is he should be tossing whatever he wants with this little girl, right? So he does the walk up, it hits, but that pop off is puny, like wimpy, right? I walk up to him, I whisper in his ear, because I didn't really feel like he was all the way a flamingo. He was like a halfway flamingo. So I walked up to him, whispered in his ear, like, yo, you know what would be fly? Like that walk up was fire, but it would be dope if you popped off like you had 2 testicles instead of 1. He was like, yeah, you right. I was like, yo, every time I pop super high, super far away, and everybody's go, oh my God, that's so beautiful. Look at that pop. And then I put him down, but that pop is easy. Like you're in the weight room all the time. You should be sending her away, making it a really big show. He's like, nah, you're right, coach, right? And he took that, and then he applied it. The very next walk up, he tossed her. Everybody's like, oh my goodness, she went so far. Right? He did that pop off crazy. But he took my advice for a few reasons. He took my advice. Reason number 1 is because when I was coaching him on his tucks, first of all, because I offered to coach him on his tucks. Nobody else offered. Nobody else said, hey, I'll spot you. Then when I offered to spot him, I gave him information that made him better, right? I poured into him. Hey, let me help you be successful. And when I gave him that information, he was successful. So now, not only am I thoughtful for spotting him, but I'm also helpful because the information that I gave him was good. Now we can go back to the part of the story I didn't want to give, right? But I was going to say I came in from a place of authority, right? I said when I told the girls that I came with, the girls, they're little girls. They're not like, I brought some 7th graders with me. I told them though, hey, remind me, I'm not somebody's coach today. I'm just a cheerleader. I don't want to tell nobody what to do. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I'm just coming to cheer. So we came in and I thought it was an open gym and we was going to stunt. No, we start with a tumbling warm up. I said I was a cheerleader, so now I guess I'm going to warm up tumbling. I look amazing. I look like a junior Olympus, right? Because I work these skills every day. I'm doing handstands every day, forward rolls every day, T-levers every day, cartwheels every day. And of course, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. One, because I don't ever get to actually practice them without coaching. And when I'm coaching, I like to set a standard. So I don't get to feel myself through it. I have to be on autopilot because I know there's certain points that I need to hit to make it look good. But now, since I was just an athlete, I just got to like feel it and see if there was some corrections I can make, right? I think I look good in my cartwheel, but I don't actually see myself when I'm coaching these athletes, my athletes. But at this open gym, I could actually play with, hey, maybe what if I kick up harder, or what if I, so I was just playing with it, trying to see what that felt like. So that was cool, but I was looking good. Everything that, whatever, backward roll, back extension roll, dive roll, handstand, cartwheel, round off, all of it looked amazing because I'm cool. I'm good at that. So I already looked, actually, they had one more thing. They finished with the round offs and they was like, hey, you know, if you have any tumbling, now's the time to throw it, round off, back handspring, standing tuck, whatever. And I just walked away and they was like, what? You look like a pro out there. I was like, amen. Thank you. Bless, right? Bless. I didn't tell them my age. I didn't want to do nothing like that. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm actually retired. And, but that was me in a position of influence. I was doing all the tumbling better than everyone there. Up to round off, back handspring, right? I didn't throw any real skills. I didn't throw any back handsprings, any tucks, any layouts. I didn't do anything like that. All the basics, though, which is where almost everyone stopped except for 2 or 3 people, I was looking the best. So that put me in a position of influence. Like, oh, he knows what he's doing. Then I went to, his name is Delco. I went to Delco. He already saw that I was pretty good at tumbling. I am just as big as he is. So he was like, okay, he can tumble. I think I can trust him to spot me. I can do most of it by myself. So even if he can't spot me, I should be okay. Then when he learned that I could spot him, he was like, oh, I am okay. Then when he learned that I could give him information to make him better, he was like, oh, coach is actually good at this. I trust the information that he gives me. And because I gave him all that information, that also gave trust, but it also gave gratitude. I'm grateful for helping me be more now than I was just a few minutes ago. And because I developed all of that in maybe 30 minutes, right? When I stepped up to him and whispered, I didn't put him on blast. I didn't shame him. I didn't do anything like that. But I did talk to him. I did talk to him in a way I thought he would be. Some men like to be challenged, right? Like, oh, word, you don't think I could? Oh, bet, let me show you, right? Some men like that. So I was like, yo, my man, if basically, I said what I said, right? You heard what I said, but I think what I was communicating was like, yo, if you really him, you need to be doing more him-like activities. That's what he took in. That's what he put. When I said throw with 2 instead of 1, he took that into his brain and recalibrated and translated into, if you really him, you need to be doing more him-like activities. Challenge accepted, right? He loved that. So that's literally how I took the showing how much I care before I showed him how much I knew, and then taking his personality type and his learning type to build that relationship. Here are a few relationships or a few people that you got to watch out for. These are a few people that you need to watch out for, and I need to let you, don't let these people break your heart. Okay, because it's not you. I promise you, it's not you. Okay, the first person you need to look out for is the secretary. Who's the secretary? I'm not talking about the school secretary or the cheerleading secretary. I'm talking about those people who take the minutes. I'm talking about those people who need to know what's happening and when it's happening all the time. What's next? What's next? What's happening next? What are we doing after this? What are we doing after that? What time is dinner? They always want to know the future. Today's not the day. Well, actually, that's not true. Don't let them discourage you. Okay? That's their personality. That's not changing. When they ask you what's next, I need you to be like, hey, I have a full day in store for you, but I need you to focus on right now because right now is where we're at. And if I can't have you right now, then it doesn't matter what we do in 30 minutes because you're not going to be there either. It's not going to matter what we do in an hour because you're not going to be there either. You're going to waste your whole day worrying about the future and then look at the past and see that nothing's gotten better. So do me a favor. Focus on now. If that gives you anxiety, I respect that. Another thing you can do when you're going into a new coaching situation and you have the power to do so, I don't know that you have the power to do so, but if you have the power to do so, have a plan written out. Have a plan written out. And then as soon as that 1 or 2 or 3 people is like, hey, what are we doing after? And what are we doing? Blah. Here you go. Don't ask me no more questions, right? Just diffuse the situation. Or if you're like not passive aggressive, I have a hard time not being passive aggressive. If you're not passive aggressive, when you walk into the start of the practice or the open gym or the clinic or wherever, just post. This is what we're doing today, guys. If you have any questions, I'm here, right? It does open a few Pandora's boxes, but I mean, if that is a solution, right? The one Pandora's box is then people are going to look for the thing that they want to do the most, and then they're not going to focus on anything except for that. Or they're going to look at the thing and see something that they never want to do, and then they're going to be anxious about that. You can't please everyone, and it's really not your job to please everyone. It's really not. Your job is to please God and serve others, right? So serve them to the best of your ability. Do a great job serving them, but like don't be too wrapped up in how they feel about it. The next people you need to not worry about are the Fidos. Who's Fido? It doesn't have to be Fido. It could be Old Yeller. It could be, who else? I don't know any other dogs, but we all know the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And for those people, they are stuck in their ways. And they did not come here for you, right? They already had in their head how their practice was going to go, what they were going to do in that practice, and those were the only things that they had, that they are going to do. They're not doing anything else. So even if you have something that's better for them, even if you have something that's whatever, today's not the day because in their head, they came to do whatever it was. If it's a cheer team and you just took over, let's say they had a new coach last week and you're the coach this week, whatever was at the end of her mind last week, that's what the athlete wants to do this week, right? And you're not going to change that because they are stuck in their ways and it's going to take them forever to get it used to you and then used to your situation. Don't let that break you. Don't let that dishearten you, and don't change your plans for them. Okay? Serve them. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is how you're going to get better. If you don't want to get better, that's cool. That's not my business. But we need to, this is what we're working on, right? I'll give you an example. I have an athlete that will not jump for her back handsprings. She just will not jump. I lift her all the time. I show her how much control I have of her body, and I just be twirling her around in the air and set her down nice and gently, and she still has a large fear about jumping backwards into that abyss, right? I used to yell about this. I used to get very frustrated because I would think that she didn't trust me. I would think that she was indicting me on how good I was of a coach. But that's not the case, right? The case is she has things she needs to work out. She has things she needs to work on. And nothing I do or say is going to help her work on that. All I can do is give her drills that will build her confidence and give her positive experiences throughout the skill so that when she's doing it in real life, if she's doing it with a spot or an actual back handspring, she will have a positive association to what she's about to do. Other than that, I have no control. So, if you're a new coach and you find yourself having a hard time connecting with these athletes, find yourself having a hard time getting these athletes to listen to you, like you, or trust you, take the like out. Take the like out. Take it out, because your goal should never be for having your athletes to like you, right? I already told you I have an athlete that doesn't like me, that does not like me. Your goal is to serve these athletes at a high level. If you do that, eventually they will love you, right? Like, oh my goodness, you helped me with so much. Who's not grateful? And if somebody's not grateful for getting help, that's not somebody that you want to work with anyway. So take the like out of there. But if you're looking to figure out how you can connect with your athletes so they can know you and trust you, you need to do a few things. First of all, you need to do one thing. It's actually one thing. The one thing is show them that you care. How do we do that? We are going to start off from a position of influence. We are going to figure out the way that they learn. We're going to figure out their personality. And if we do that, they will know us, trust us to help them get better. There are 2 personality types you want to stay away from, the secretaries and the Fidos. Besides that, everyone else, you're going to have a great time leading and serving. So, guys, thank you for watching today's live. My name is Coach Zo. This is the ZoShow Live. Okay, we have cheer coaching success. If you have any questions on motions, have any questions on jumps, have any questions on tumbling, have any questions on stunts, have any questions on game day, cheers, chants, anything, come to us. We are going to put everything together and make it super easy for you. And speaking of making it super easy for you, this Saturday night, 8 p.m., you need to come to our webinar, How to Make Your Cheer Season Easy. Tired of running around stressing, trying to get last minute details worked out because this happened and that happened? Come to the webinar. Figure out how you can get all the tools you need so that your cheer season can go smoothly. And when it's smooth, you can enjoy the moment and not stress about the moment. Hey, let's get the tools that we need to help the people that we lead succeed. Peace. All right, guys.